Welcome back. Today we're going to be diving into the new Marvel Disney Plus show, Agatha All Along. This is a spin-off show directly tied to WandaVision, which came out 3 years ago, starring Elizabeth Olsen and getting our introduction to Agatha Harkness, played by Kathryn Hahn. After her standout role in WandaVision, fans were excited to see more of Kathryn Hahn, Agatha Harkness. But does this series live up to the hype? Well, not quite. Let's get into it. Right off the bat, let's talk about the story. Now, while the premise of expanding Agatha's backstory was intriguing, the execution left much to be desired. The plot feels muddled and frankly underwhelming. In the first 4 episodes, you're kind of being left dragged on, and it lacks momentum and depth we expect from a really decent Marvel show. The story just doesn't grab you, it stretches too thin, and some episodes feel like filler. Now, I've seen the first 4 episodes, and I can tell you that after watching the second one, if you were already hooked onto the show, you probably would be returning back to see the rest of the season. Another glaring issue is the characters. Beyond Agatha herself, who still maintains some charm thanks to Kathryn Hahn's performance, the supporting cast just isn't that interesting. They feel flat and one-dimensional and lacking the complexity and charisma needed to keep viewers engaged. It feels like these characters were meant to serve the plot but end up being forgettable. Throughout each episode, you definitely get a little bit of backstory from these characters, but again, you're not really hooked to even really care about them at all. As they're going down this witch's road to gain Agatha's powers back, you're going through different trials and trying to see how they can become more unified as a coven that's going to test them as a coven. Even though that might be interesting, out of the maybe 5 or 6 characters that you see tag along in this group, you really only care about 3, which is Kathryn Hahn, Agatha Harkness, Aubrey Plaza, and John Locke's character. Now, going on with John Locke, there's definitely some mystery with his character. Now, we all know who he is. Billy Kaplan, i.e. Wanda's son, Wiccan, was definitely trying to hide the fact that this is that character, and they're trying to drag this on for the entirety of this season, because with the first 4 episodes, they do not mention his name at all and just refer to him as the Teen. For me personally, I feel this is kind of getting a little redundant in the fact that we all know who he is and trying not to beat you over the head like, oh, who the mystery, who he's going to be. We all know who he is. He's Wiccan. Now, Aubrey Plaza, listen, anytime you put Aubrey Plaza on screen and let her be Aubrey Plaza, it's always a good sight to see. Honestly, with her charisma, she definitely gives off like she belongs in this show. Every time that you see her on screen, it is entertaining. However, some of the jokes that are landing in this first 4 episodes are not really interesting at all. And I really did have a few laughs other than that, just seeing Aubrey Plaza and maybe Kathryn Hahn having her personality being the evil witch that everybody hates. Now, one thing I do appreciate about this show is definitely the practical effects that they're using. They're definitely getting to this horror vibe and actually going away from just having visual CGI and actually using practical effects. Now, this goes to not only just with costumes, but creatures, the set design, everything. I think they actually have a very unique approach to this, the way they're shooting the camera to give some sense of horror or suspense. I think they do a really decent job with this. Now, is this show the worst thing in Marvel put out? No. Now, there's going to be some subject matter that's going to piss off the fans, especially the characters that they represent. The certain communities, the relationships, i.e. their sexuality and everything. And I'm going to tell you, that's probably going to piss some people off. It didn't piss me off or anything. It was organic and was honestly expected. With the 4 episodes out of the 9 that they're going to show, I can guarantee you that this is a show that if you are a fan of Agatha, you're probably going to enjoy this show. Now, one thing that they're trying to do, which I don't understand why, is that they're trying to take the same approach with WandaVision, how each show or each episode had a different tone and different set design, different era and within television, and then try and put that same unique style within Agatha as she's going through these trials on the witch's road. But the problem is that it comes to a point of actually just trying to rehash WandaVision instead of just having a show about Agatha with witches, instead of trying to rehash everything you did on that show that everybody liked. And even in that show that it worked, in this, it really doesn't. It comes across very silly. Overall, Agatha All Along feels like a missed opportunity. The weak story, uninteresting characters, and tonal inconsistencies make it hard to recommend. Even Kathryn Hahn's magnetic performance as Agatha can't save the show from its structural issues. If you are a diehard Marvel fan, you might still want to give it a watch. I know I will, because I am loyal to Marvel, loyal to watching these stories play out. But for everyone else, this series falls short of the magic we were hoping for. This concludes my review. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you've seen the show, let me know down below what you thought. Peace.